Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Factorio, and I am setting up my new rail station, the output station. It's got 4 outputs that can easily be made into 2, or even 1 if you really want to, but it's kind of designed to do 4 or 2. And I have the blueprint set up for iron chests, but I really want wooden chests in there right now, and possibly forever, because I don't want these things to ever queue up with a whole bunch of items. And you see here I'm limiting it down to 2, and I thought about limiting it down to 1. I decided no, I'm gonna limit it down to 2. And you saw also the research came up. We're researching tool belts, which is always nice. It's one of those things that you really want right away, and you just can't afford it right away because you need to do other things. So when you do get that tool belt research done, it's always nice. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, this is my 4x4 balancer. Again, it's in red, but I still haven't set up the balancers that I use a lot in yellow. Knowing me, I probably won't. I also wanted my coal line to only be 1, and then I just changed my mind again. I thought that was ugly. I decided to be a little bit more what's the word? Send more coal that way, and I wanted to start at as close as possible down there, and then run the send just one half of one coal line down to the train station down there, and then send 3 coal lines up here, which is a little dodgy because I've got that copper thing going, and I should really take care of that copper the way it is. But that's, again, things I can fix later. But mostly I'm just spending way too long futzing with the stuff and making it work. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually realized that I had the thing wrong. But this, I did. This is me fixing the array. This is another Scarhoof. I don't know where he got it, but I got it from him. It runs 1/2 of the stuff through the right-hand side there and 1/2 of the stuff through the left-hand side, automatically splits them, and then they come down, and there's too much coal on this line for what you need, but I mean, what are you going to do about coal? But there is exactly the right amount of ore coming down to just nail the last furnace on each side. And you notice I have 2 inserters on that last furnace. That was a mistake. I'll fix it eventually on my blueprint. But as it is, yeah, see, I just took them away on there. I realized it. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, yeah, we need to set up coal pickup now. So the coal drop-off station's good, and the rail line needs some work. Right now, 2 trains won't run on it, but I'll get that set up eventually when I see the problem. So I decide where my station goes, then I manually run the train to it, as long as I turn the correct way. I think I turned the wrong way, and I love it when you can run a train and just stop wherever it goes. And then I name this PU coal to pick up coal, which seems reasonable to me. What do we do now here? I don't even remember what we're doing. I'm setting up the pickup station, which is basically the same as the drop-off station. Yellow belts, yellow inserters into the chest, blue inserters out of the chest. And you realize now that there's a very bad problem with my station down there and with my train setup. The trains do not play nice together as far as that's concerned. Gonna have to take care of that eventually, but really what's going to take care of it is setting up the correct train line. That is just a temporary train line to get this thing running. Obviously, it's not working very well, but it's serving its purpose kind of now. I need to refill things in my inventory. I needed some arms and stuff, and I realize I also want some bullets and things like that, because I'm going to want to go off to the right there pretty soon. As soon as I get this coal thing set up, it's time to start expanding the factory. But then we head back down here. Oh yeah, it's not playing nice. You notice the signals are just, it's not letting that train through. It's not letting any train through. And now the train is being a jerk, and now they head-on collision with, or no, it ran into its back. So at least it didn't head-on collide with the other one. And then it runs out of fuel, which is awesome. So obviously this train is set up perfectly. And then, of course, I put fuel in it, and it runs away. Luckily, the train system works well enough that it can actually get back to its station at least without too much trouble. By the time I get up there, it's parked and ready to go. And I've also set it up so that it won't leave automatically when the time comes. And now we need to clear a whole bunch of trees. The stations I set up should, and by my calculations, load both cars equally. It splits up all the input. As long as the input's balanced, it'll split it up between all of those things. So as long as I put like a 4-way splitter right in front of it, in theory, both cars should load up perfectly the same. If anybody thinks that they won't do that, please explain why, because I've had some issues with things that I think are balanced that aren't, and I would like to know. I would like to know where my flaw is in my logic. I set up those light poles there that you saw a couple seconds ago. And then took them down. I basically had them set up for their light possibilities. I wanted to see what the setup looked like, and then once I saw that I had cleared all the trees away, then I just took them away because I don't actually want them wherever they were. Let's see, covering the whole patch here. I'm gonna basically, whenever I do go to a new patch, my goal is to fully cover it because I want to make sure that I don't have to come back to a patch. And now I'm setting up a 3 to 4 balancer here. But my 3 to 4 balancer, actually I was going to do a 3 to 2 balancer, but I do have 4 lines up there, so I might as well just make it a 3 to 4 balancer so I don't then have to do a 2 to 4 splitter. And I realized that the balancer sticks off kind of to the right, I guess, of the balancer, too far to just turn it right there. So I had to futz all my power lines. Then I figure, well, while I'm laying power lines, I might as well power up the entire coal line because, you know, that way it'll mine while I'm doing all the rest of the stuff here and load up this belt, because we're never going to have the throughput that this belt needs to saturate, and so I might as well get it queued up ahead of time a little bit so that there's a little bit of a backlog when the time comes to run this thing. And I've got the balancer going, and then we just need to figure out how to run these lines. And again, I'm trying to minimize the amount of distance these things run, at least partially. Now I got all these things going and they are loading up, and the only problem with them right now is that there's a little bit of a lag on the right hand side because they go through slightly more belts than the left hand side. Ideally that'll not be a problem anymore. Then I finally fixed the left rightness of the guy. He should never have to go to the left currently onto this stupid temporary thing, but he will need to go to the right a lot, so having that right line is good. And I obviously need to fix signals, so I think I'm heading up here to grab signals, and this is where I realize I am not automatically feeding raw materials into the signals. I'm also not automatically sending them out, so I'm only going to ever have like 2 or 1 stack or whatever. And no, it's 2 in there, so taking them out there I only get 1 stack, so I didn't realize about the raw materials yet. So now I'm changing my circuits thing to full and empty inventory, and then letting this guy head down here. He's going to, oh, I think I got hit by the train. That's kind of it got smashed into that rock by the train, I think. And now I'm taking my signals, and I'm trying to do the bare minimum just to get the trains running. It's not the best setup, but it does allow the trains to actually move down the track. And mostly I need to block off this area so that trains can get on the main track without what's the word? Trains can get on the main track without blocking other trains from getting on it. You know what I mean? Like once a train is off the main track, another train can get on it. That's really all I care about at the moment, because with 2 trains, if somebody stopped for a little while, it's really not that big of a deal. Then let's see. Yeah, now we're running coal up to the main line, which is good. And I'm gonna need power soon. I don't know if you saw that, but the power is getting low again. So luckily though, I'm making all the stuff for power. Unluckily though, the power is very quickly encroaching on the science. But I can fit 2 more steam engines in here, which will get me going for a little while. We should be good for the time being. And then next time we need power, I'll have to figure something out. I could probably fairly easily split these guys onto the other side or something like that, moving that steel line a little bit out of the way. Shouldn't be shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now we need more copper for the science to get moving, so that's a pretty easy fix. I lay down 4 more lines, and I'm looking to see what's around, and there is more iron up to the left, which is nice. There's another coal line down there, which is nice, and of course there's biters, which is not nice. But I don't really see very much more coal, which is a little disturbing, considering we've only got 2 coal patches, and I'm tapping them both right now. But in the meantime, I'm trying to stick with my mantra of dropping as many miners down as I can to saturate a patch, so that once I get started, I never have to worry about it again, and then I can just let it sit here until it's out, and just come by every once in a while and clean it up, take away the miners, and maybe saturate it even more. And now I'm making sure that we've got the red packs. They're backing up now, it looks like, so that's good. Now that red packs are backing up, science is running at 100%. And now I need to get blue science. So I'm looking to see. I'd say I typed science here to find the science pack 3. In order to do this, I need 2 of these things. It looks like I need that whatever processing that is, and then electronics 2 or whatever that is. I forgot coal in those. That's a great idea there. Anyway, we need turrets, and turrets take copper. So I decide, okay, it's time to suck it up and get this copper line that I've held off sending down the line, get it down there and just brute force it through all these inserters and get it running. And then I need to get it on the left side of this thing, which is an interesting problem, but it's not that bad. I can just run it like this, and I wanted to make it as flush to the thing as possible. So now I've got copper coming down into this thing, and then I need circuits and maybe gears. I don't remember what they take, but yeah, it needs gears. And then now I've got turrets coming down into that box, which is nice. And now it's time, fairly soon, to claim more territory. I dropped my one of these things down here really quickly to make some armor, whatever the next tier of armor is, heavy 2 or modular or something. I don't remember which armor it is, but it's the best one I have available to me at the moment. Heavy armor, it looks like it is. So I want that because I'm going to be going down, finding more biters, and then I'm going to throw away just a couple things that I know I'll never need again. Eventually, I'm going to want to recycle some of those things. And I've got the recycler mod. I think I've researched the recycler factory. It's a super low priority right now. Right now, the priority is getting the main factory up. So I'm testing the automated fuel and ammo mod. Make sure it works. It does. My concern was that it wasn't filling it with bullets, but the problem is it won't fill off of your toolbar. So I take bullets off of my toolbar, and now all the bullets sitting in my inventory are usable by that mod, so it will be able to fill things. Then the last thing I need to do is pick up a whole bunch of light poles and then head my way out, and also be annoyed by, even though I have the Squeak Through mod installed, the trees are so thick here that I can't get through them. So I decided to take some away with the automated deconstruction planner, just to make my life a little bit better, but then I find out that it actually doesn't work very well. And then I just turret spam. I know this is cheating. I don't care. I want this to be cheating. I want this to be the way the game works. I hope that they don't ever fix this problem. I don't know why I ran those power lines down there. There is a patch down there that I'm eventually going to want to tap, but I don't know exactly why I did that. Then I get a little close to this base, so instead of turret creep, it's more like turret fleeing, but it worked. And I've already lost a turret, you see, but I'm trying to turret creep now with these guys and take out the worms, and it's just not working. So I run up here to get away, and I see that this other nest is right here, so I just spam them with turrets, and that seemed to work out pretty well. So I'm like, you know what, maybe I can try that down on the base down here. So I just load up my turrets and I slap them down and just let them go to town, and they work fantastically. So I think that's the way I'm going to be doing this from now on, is just Turretapalooza, I guess is the right way to say this. there's also eventually I'm going to look and see that there's a coal patch to the right, which is nice. It's nice to know it's there because coal is a little bit iffy. But I want all the trees to be clear from these patches, but I don't want to stand here, so I'm just like, you know what, they're queued up, so that's good. That way they'll be here. And then, oh yeah, there we go. There's a nice big coal patch with 663K of coal. It's like it just doubled the amount of coal I have available to me on the map. But now it's time to head back. The radar's doing its job. It's scanning the area, and we need to do a little bit of maintenance around the base. I think, if I remember correctly, the first thing we do here is head up here, and I noticed that it's not quite keeping up with the science demands here. So I update the first science thing with 3 blue inserters instead of the 2 yellow ones, and then I send the blue ones out of that one into the next one, and out of that one into the next one, so that we can get science going down the line a little bit quicker. Also, I'm noticing a couple of these, furnaces here had coal being loaded into them when I placed them, and of course the coal filler fills them with coal. So then they were just sitting there doing nothing because the arm had coal in it and didn't want to put coal in them, but there was no ore in there in order to fill it with ore. So also my coal train wasn't set up to leave when it was full of inventory. And now it's time, though, to finally set up my basic train line. The way my trains are set up here, and this is going to be ideally the paradigm for the entire game, assuming it works and it doesn't suck. I've tested it, so I know it's physically okay. It like the trains will run on it. I don't know how well multiple trains will run on it. I think they'll run great, but I don't know that for a fact. And if you see here my train line, what it is it's 4 lines and they're braided. So the if you look from the left to the right there, lane number 1 on the left goes one direction, lane number 2 goes the other direction, and then lane number 3 matches lane number 1's direction, and lane number 4 matches lane number 2's direction. So the 2 even numbered lanes go one way and the 2 odd numbered lanes go the other way. And it's the tightest setup that you can have 4 lanes and also braid them in this way. The idea is that if a train gets stuck for whatever reason, the other trains can always get around it, and they not only can they get around it, but the trains can decide which direction they want to go in order, which lane they want to go down based on whether they're turning left, whether they're turning right. Generally in intersections, if you're turning left, you need to be on the left side. If you're turning right, you need to be on the right side. And when you come in from those sides, you go onto that side. So if you need to get on the other side, you can get off of one lane onto the other, etc. Here I'm realizing, like learning again, I guess, that the power poles just will not go away as you're placing your blueprints. The power poles that are in the middle here are stopping me from being able to place rails and signals and things like that. So I need to remove every power pole from this area and relay them down from scratch, which kind of sucks, but it's not that bad. But it's just kind of annoying that things like that get in the way. When you're trying to when you completely tear something apart and then you realize you got to do a whole bunch of fiddly work to get it back together, it can be a little annoying. But oh well. BlueBuild is doing most of the work, which is always nice. Then power's now restored, which is nice, and I need to get more rails placed, and I can't place them down south in map mode, which kind of sucks because I removed that blueprint, I'm sorry, not the blueprint, the radar from down there. So I do have to still run down and do this. And then at some point here, I'm run out of rails. But first, here's my corner piece. I don't want to go that far south, so I'm going to remove these rails here just to get them out of the way. And got to remove these power lines that I just placed because they're in the way. And then I go into my train blueprint and I cycle through, and there's my corner piece. One thing about this rail setup is I never want it to go diagonally. Obviously, there's going to be diagonal rails, and you notice I set that up wrong. Another thing about this is I want the braid to determine the setup. I want it to respect the braiding of this thing and have the braiding be perfect throughout. And hold on one second. sorry about that. So what am I doing now? I don't even know. Yeah, I need more rails. So we're heading up. We're heading up here. I need this setup of braids and things like this takes up a lot of rails, and I obviously, not only do I need more rails, but I need more signals. I need a lot more signals, and here's where I realize that I am not feeding signals raw materials. In particular, I'm not feeding them electronic circuits, and I think they might even need steel. So that's annoying, but I guess I let that go for now. Because I have a lot of chain signals, which this thing also needs a decent amount of chain signals. And here where I removed those power poles, I never came back and set up the rails that never placed because of the power poles. So I'm laying the lines down over them just to make sure that it works. And yeah, what am I doing now? I don't even know. Yeah, I need to hook up the drop-off stations because the coal line doesn't have any way to move. It's a little kludgy, and I don't like it, and I might fix it eventually in the future, but I also might leave it here because these are just to get this station running for now, and eventually I'm going to be running train lines other places. But it's fine right now as long as they work. I don't mind them being wrong. And yeah, here's where I'm realizing that the signals are not getting the raw materials, and I'm just feeding them in manually, which is never the right way to go, especially when you're a lazy bastard. You don't want automation to fail on you. You want things to be good. So I'm replacing the signals kind of piecemeal here. I'm just figuring out what needs to be placed in order to go, and I'm not sure why it's not running. And why it's not running here has nothing to do with the signals right now. Yeah, see, that's wrong because that line is supposed to go the other way. At least maybe it's not. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Maybe this line, yeah, this line is actually going the right way. It's this line, the line back is the middle one. That's what I realized going into this. And so I just set up that really quickly so that the pickup station can go head back north. And that's wrong too. I shouldn't have it set up that way. I need it to be a little more standardized. And I will get to that in a minute here as we set up this other station. But that is the end of the episode because it's the end of the hour. We're going to set up this station next time. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. Next time we got a lot more going on. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, talk at you later.